African Tzu Chi volunteers are using bricks to help rebuild multiple homes for the flood-affected residents. Dr. Cao Wenlong shares various ways on how to prevent early onset of dementia at the Kaohsiung Jing Si Hall. Welcome to DaAi Headlines, and Lori Chen, thank you for joining us. Cyclone Idai caused severe damages in the East African countries of Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Malawi. African Tzu Chi volunteers are in the biggest city in Malawi, continuing their efforts in helping to build brick houses for the flood-affected residents.
因为一场大雨，所以
Because of the big rain, the cement workers can't come to work. It's something unexpected.
所以这是变化球。
The construction method in Malawi is very unprofessional. Coupled with the storm, the houses are so weak that the bare hands can take them down.
道路这么难，行进中这么困难，有些根本不可能帮你运送。
It isn't easy to move along the road. Some people didn't want to move the materials for us, so we had to move the cement and bricks ourselves.
沙石啊，都是志工一桶一桶这样提过来的。
Muddy roads hamper the construction, but the villagers volunteer to help.
Wow, Joanna is a good volunteer.
Children also pitch in to move the bricks. A brick weighs about 2.5 kilograms, so this young girl carries about 20 kilograms of bricks. Including the volunteers, around 100 people volunteer to build these houses.
第一栋已经快要完工。
First house is almost completed. We estimate that we can finish the walls tomorrow.
把墙砌好。
Local women fetch water all the time. They must walk a long distance to the water source and scrub water with ladles. They speak in a language we don't understand, but their voices and expressions reveal their happiness.
I didn't carry water, but I'm panting. I panted harder when I walked up the hill. It's hard to imagine that they carried the water on their heads and walked all the way here, but they were still so happy to volunteer. I'm truly touched.
5 houses are being rebuilt simultaneously. Tzu Chi volunteers and villagers split into teams to work more efficiently. Some of them also work as cooks, and together the volunteers and the villagers go out to buy foodstuff to cook meals for everyone doing construction. They have to make do with anything they have, and Tzu Chi volunteers will be with them to finish these houses.
Have you ever imagined living without any light on a daily basis? Well, for many impoverished households in Vietnam, this is their daily reality. Therefore, Tzu Chi volunteers went and delivered solar-powered lights to a total of 463 households in the remote areas.
During a 5-hour-long bumpy ride, volunteers sing and do sign language songs to pass their time. One day before the distribution, Tzu Chi volunteers leave Ho Chi Minh City for a 200-kilometer ride. Then they take a ferry to reach 2 distribution sites. Why are they acting so urgently?
Con chỉ mua chạy này chơi.
Ghê quá. Gió bão số 4 rồi đó. Bão chạy ra hết trơn luôn. Chạy ra đâu? Chạy ra ngoài sân. 7 giờ tối mới mở.
My grandchildren use oil lamps to study over there.
This is why the volunteers went on this long trip. They paste parts of the solar panel lights and the Vietnamese user's manuals on the blackboard. Then they explain how to install the light.
There are 2 choices for solar lights. Number 1 gives you weaker light, but it saves energy. Every cord and plug has a corresponding number, so don't plug in the wrong socket.
Do villagers understand it?
I was listening attentively, so after I go home, I'll study it. They all have numbers, which line goes with which cord. We all live far away, so we must listen carefully, or we'll be in big trouble after we go home.
But the volunteers still go to their homes to ease their minds.
We must plug the cord here, or the light won't work.
After the solar panels are taken outdoors and absorb the light, The light will become energy and the light bulbs will shine.
After I become a volunteer, I learned that being rich is not about how much money I have, but using time wisely, living happily, and giving what you have. Then the mind will become rich.
These 463 families will no longer live in darkness anymore. Now they can have light at night, and the children can study at night.
The UN headquarters located in New York City. Starting from September last year, Tzu Chi established the Tzu Chi Center of New York in Manhattan. The location is very convenient since it is only a 15-minute walk to the UN headquarters. At the moment, the office is still undergoing overall planning and design. Here's a sneak peek.
Hello, my name is Steve Chu, and you're joining me today at the heart of New York City, at the intersection of 60th Street and 2nd Avenue. If you look right over here, you will see the Roosevelt Island Tramway going from Manhattan all the way to Roosevelt Island. It's also home to the Queensboro Bridge. Now, this beautiful space, this beautiful intersection is really important to us and really exciting to be sharing with you guys today because it is 100 steps away from our new Tzu Chi home, found at 229 East 60th Street. It's gonna be filming me the whole time on the way down the street? All right. So on 60th Street, what you'll find is a plethora of different types of retail stores and also vendors. One of them being home to the world famous Serendipity 3, which you'll find right here, right next door to our new office. So it is one of the most famous New York City dessert shops and is also famous for having over 3 Hollywood productions being filmed on site inside this very dessert bar. Thank you so much. So let's say you don't want to take the car or the bus out to our new office. Don't you worry. We're right next to the 59th Street Lexington Avenue subway. And as you can see on my left, we have Dylan's Candy Bar, which is also home to some of my favorite childhood candies. So before you eat all of that chocolate cake, you want to make sure you leave some space for some of New York's finest, most delicious arugula pizza, which you can find at Patsy's Pizzeria. Now, if you come with me, we'll go and head over to our new office. And now we're here. Now that I've taken you around all of the entire block, you find yourself right behind me to 229, our newest office, which serves as the hub to our engagement to the United Nations, which is just 13 streets down from here. Now, if you'll join me, let's take a look inside. So what you see in front of you right here is a sneak peek of all that 229 will become in the future. On the first floor, we have a reception space for any guests to come in, have hot tea with us, and learn more about Tzu Chi. On the second floor, we'll have an additional exhibition space showcasing all of the work that Tzu Chi volunteers are doing around the world. On the third floor, we'll have meeting space. Fourth and fifth floor, who knows? The possibilities are endless. So come visit us!
Getting ready for its grand opening at the end of April, the Tzu Chi Center of New York will be a place where people will get to see all the footprints of Tzu Chi worldwide. 2 Tzu Chi volunteers, a couple, have taken up the roles of guardians of the new office. Let's meet this diligent couple. I will walk about 7 to 8 minutes to the subway station. It's right where the City Hall is located. Then if I take the express train, it will only take 10 minutes. Afterwards, it's only about a 5 to 6 minute walk to the new office at 229. Then my day starts.
A bit over 10 years ago, one of the Jing Si Hall Dharma masters told us that we needed to come to New York and that we were going to be the guardians of a cultivation ground. It's really weird because we're now the guardians of this new office space.
The very first thing that we do when we arrive is head up to the second floor. There we will pay respect to both the Buddha and Dharma Master Zhen Yan and sincerely make our daily vows, asking for strength and blessings for the day. We hope that we'll be able to interact with more and more people here at the new office space, having the chance to plant more seeds of compassion and spread a spirit of great love worldwide.
Back in 2012, the doctor had encouraged me to undergo the necessary surgery for my condition. He told me that both my heart and kidney functions were good, so I should just go for it. I was very calm at the time. My wife didn't know how serious my condition was. Not even myself knew. I just remember lying there right before they were going to push me into the operating room. I just laid there enchanted. Theirs is a mind of translucent purity with vast, profound vows. They hold these vows unwaveringly for countless eons of time. Then they pushed me in. The surgery was over in a couple of hours. I didn't have any fear in me at all. Impermanence will come one day, but it's only natural. The important thing is to seize the opportunity that I have now to do what I am capable of.
As long as when someone comes into the center to ask a question, they can respond accordingly. That is already the start of a connection. We don't require volunteers to be absolutely fluent in English. As long as they can communicate clearly and that the visitors can understand them, that is good enough.
When others are hurt, we feel their pain. When others suffer, we feel their sorrow.
Yes, recycling, we're also all recycling volunteers, so we share a lot about environmental protection concepts to the public as well. If we need to go more in-depth about a certain part of environmental protection, there's always plenty of other volunteers that can help out when needed. So everyone is all very joyful here. You can find them using this place as a cultivation ground. I don't dare say that it's my mission. It's more like it's my responsibility. I made a vow to Dharma Master Zhen Yan to take good care of this new home. I hope that we will be able to invite more people to come visit our new office. Just simply this, I hope that everyone that comes to visit can all leave with a joyful heart. Although I am here day in and day out, it's a very happy experience. These are happy tears. I am in no way forced to be here. Master has already done so much for us, while I can only do this small task. Such little effort in comparison. I just want to do my part well so that Master doesn't have to worry about us.
We have been looking for a suitable location for 10 years already. Then we finally found this one. In the future, we hope that there will be more volunteers and more visitors, letting the mainstream population get to know Tzu Chi better.
Continue our series on Taiwan's orphan population. Many of these youngsters suffer from an unbalanced diet, such as not consuming enough fresh fruit. Today, we will take you to meet one group of organic farmers who have stepped up big time to help alleviate these children's nutritional issues.
On this side, we have pears that can be refrigerated to last long. Lunar New Year is the peak season for pears, so everyone gives them as gifts around them.
Near Lunar New Year, Zheng Yifeng's warehouse begins to fill up. In addition to selling directly to the public, a number are sent to local orphanages.
Our boxes have many different types of things, as we hope that everyone can have a balanced diet. It contains at least 5 kinds of fruits or vegetables each week. The fruits children in the orphanage get are the same, not just one fruit or vegetable. It will at least have 3 to 5 different fruits and vegetables.
Zheng Yifeng is the owner of a technology company. He started to establish a sales platform for small farmers in Taiwan 3 years ago. One of his customers encouraged him to give fruit to an orphanage, as many of the children here suffered from poor nutrition.
I think the biggest problem for them is that they come from disadvantaged families in Taiwan. They have suffered this for a long time, and when they go to the orphanage, there's a chance they have some malnutrition and poor health.
Zheng Yifeng raised funds to set up a platform and connected more than 300 fruit farmers and consumers to distribute this fruit to those in need.
At that time, I thought it would just be a short-term thing. I didn't expect it to go on for almost 2 years or 120 weeks, and the fruit variety is abundant and timely.
Teachers said that the health of these kids has improved dramatically, and the proportion suffering from constipation has dropped below 60%.
Zheng Yifeng now assists children from 0 to 12 years old, including 13 children's homes and 24 foster families. In total, he supports more than 600 children. In addition to regularly sending fruit, he also organizes food-related activities. In his own way, he is caring for orphans as they await a new home. According to statistics, there are only 267 children successfully adopted in 2017, accounting for less than 1/3 of the total orphan population. Of these, 151 were adopted overseas and 116 were domestically adopted. And only 4 were domestically adopted between the ages of 6 to 12 years old. while these other children under the age of 6 have to stay in institutions or foster care families as they wait for a new family to appear.
If everything goes smoothly, it could be 6 months to 1 year. They may have some problems like their father may be in prison or mother suffers from drug abuse. This could cause development problems. He has been here about 4 years.
At present, there are 40 children aged 0 to 12 in the Zhongyi Children's Home. Huang Yuxuan has the longest term of service in this building, working for more than 9 years. She has watched many children come and go as she hopes that every child can find the right family.
Babies don't understand very well, but they may regard our staff like their own mother. And in kindergarten, they may ask about when they can have a home or a mom and a dad and when they can be normal like others.
The traditional Chinese concept of family is still hard to break as many orphan children have difficulty finding adopted homes. Many hope they can all be adopted and paired with the right family. For the lucky ones, finding a new home in Taiwan or abroad is definitely a blessing.
Dr. Cao Wenlong, director of DaAi Tzu Chi Hospital's Dementia Center, went to the Kaohsiung Jing Si Hall to discuss the topic of aging. For him, one should be more active in their everyday lives once we get older. It's a way to prevent our memory and learn skills from deteriorating at a rapid rate. Coming from DaAi to the Kaohsiung Jing Si Hall, director of the Dementia Center of the DaAi Tzu Chi Hospital shared with everyone the proper ways to deal with aging. Faced with the topic of aging, Dr. Cao, who's already over 70 years old himself, shared his own experiences. He also used actions to explain further.
Our generation, 60 to 70-year-olds, when taking care of the elderly, we must think of ourselves too. We need to think about when we get older, if we have dementia, how should we live our lives?
The pace of learning should not stop merely because of getting older in age. They should participate in community activities to increase their everyday interactions. When facing the aging process, one should not just sit around and wait. 84-year-old Grandma Li came to listen to the sharing and felt very inspired.
I think learning how to write is a very good thing. I have always wanted to learn how to write. I love to learn how to write the characters, but I easily forget.
Even though we may forget, one should still keep on learning. One should try to develop skills in every field possible. The elderly are being active while the younger generations are caring from the sidelines.
Not trying to study at all, the future looks bleak. If not learning at all in this lifetime, the next lifetime won't be looking so great either. This is the concept I give to myself. I hope to motivate this group of seniors to all come and study with a joyful heart.
I shared about the experiences of caring for the elderly with the public. Then the public will start to rethink about their own lives and pay more attention to this area. To care for the elderly of today is also a means to start caring about our future selves.
Aging both joyfully and with dignity. Start learning and be proactive now. It's never too late. Have you ever heard the condition myofascial pain syndrome? Watch out, this extremely common condition could be knocking on your door. MPS with the body soft tissue experiences pain and inflammation. So what ways can we prevent it and what current treatments are available? Let's hear what the doctors have to say. The supermodel Janelle Tsai, who disappeared from the limelight for a whole 2 years, turns out was suffering from myofascial pain syndrome. This is where pain and inflammation is present in the body's soft tissues.
I couldn't even bend my knees at a 90-degree angle. I couldn't stand for long periods of time, couldn't sit for too long. Even my sleeping was disturbed.
Myofascial pain syndrome is actually quite a common condition. This usually occurs when people have poor long-term posture.
In an average working environment, there are a large number of people who have poor posture. They would use the computer with only one hand, while the other one is elevated. It affects the inner shoulder muscle here.
The areas of pain are mainly located in the shoulder and neck, the back shoulder blades, and the lower back.
If you press down, you will notice that the muscle will have some odd movements. The pain is triggered when you press down on the hard nodules. The pain will be sharp, and it will travel.
When the muscles are tight, the blood capillaries within will not have great circulation. Therefore, the area will slowly become more tender to the touch.
70-year-old Grandma Jiang used to work at the markets when she was younger. The daily repeated motions of cutting with a knife left her with a bad case of MPS.
I would get up early in the morning and immediately start to chop with a knife. I would be doing that for 4 to 5 hours at a time. Whenever I would hold the knife up to here, it would be shooting pains. I had to ask my daughter for a massage.
There are injections or extracorporeal shockwave therapy that are available.
Some patients come in with the whole entire muscle group cramped up. It hurts them all over. In our hospital, we are able to provide patients with the extracorporeal shock wave therapy route, where it can loosen up tightened muscles.
Through some simple exercises, it can also help to soothe the tight muscles in the shoulder and neck areas.
We can tilt our head to the left, then use our left hand to assist the stretch. I can feel the side of my neck being tightened. Leave it in this position for about 10 seconds before switching sides.
You can also use the soft tennis ball and lean against the wall with it. It's a way to self-stimulate your own pain points.
I can place it in the area right above my shoulder blades. When I press up against it, I can feel a bit of soreness. You can stay in this position, relying on your body weight to push back on it.
Long-term effects of myofascial pain syndrome includes insomnia, disturbances in daily life tasks, and the lack of work efficiency. However, with proper relaxation time and exercising regularly, the painful condition can definitely be prevented. The Tzu Chi recycling station in Xinquan Village, Fuding, China, is being forced to relocate. Fortunately, the Tao family were generously enough to provide their unused 100-year-old ancient house for Tzu Chi to use. Therefore, all the volunteers are working hard together to repair the home.
The female volunteers use hoes to clear the land or carry the cement with baskets.
Yesterday, I noticed the work has not finished, so today I feel bad about it and feel that this was a rare opportunity, so I came to help and send best wishes to myself.
If we repair the entire house, it would take a very long time, so we felt that we should try our best to get the construction done quickly so the recycling station can be opened soon.
Over 10 volunteers in the village came to the study group last night, which all of them were united with one mind. Plus, we have the help of Tzu Chi volunteers who are still working today. The repair work is progressing at a fast pace.
Originally, a businessman wanted to rent the current recycling station and turn it into a tea museum. Fortunately, the Tao family agreed to lease their 100-year-old house to Tzu Chi with no charge.
All of us support public welfare. This house has been abandoned for years, and we're repairing it so we can do recycling. It's good for the village. We hope it's good for everyone.
I like doing recycling from the bottom of my heart. Before Tzu Chi volunteer Xiang came here, I've heard about recycling from my sister in Fuding. I began picking up recyclables on my way to pick tea leaves or from the river.
Through the repair work and the cleanup process, the volunteers realized that their minds also need to be purified. They look forward to the new recycling station in Xinquan Village, which they believe it will make the village more beautiful and clean.
An entrepreneur from Wuhan, China, led his company executives to come to Taiwan to participate in the Jingsi camp. They especially made a visit to the humanitarian eco-type pavilion, where they were amazed at the advanced green technology. They were inspired and vowed to bring these concepts back to their own communities. Thank you for watching. See you next time.